yet another beer show. I'm JT.
I'm Colin.
And today we're going to get right to the point. We have a beer here called Old Foghorn from San Francisco's local brewery, Anchor Brewery. Actually, what's interesting is you can actually get tours of Anchor Brewery. We actually got to take one a couple months ago.
Once we had the opportunity to go through.
And it's actually in downtown Potrero Hill of San Francisco.
Where is it? It's around 16th and Mariposa, that area?
Yeah,
those streets don't cross each other.
Yeah, we'll stick with that. Yeah, it's around there. But this is actually like an old, 1860, 18...
It's gotta be on there.
90... Yeah, we'll stick with something like that. It's 1800s, Anchor Brewery started. It's very historical to San Francisco.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone knows, well, I don't know if everyone knows, but most people probably know Anchor Steam is the signature brew of
Yes.
Anchor Brewery. Old Foghorn is one of their different brews. It's a heavier brew.
It's a barley wine. Usually a barley wine is, it's made a little differently, allowed to ferment
Yeah.
a lot longer, and up in the higher alcohol content. It's usually closer to wine in terms of volume of alcohol, which is why it's called a barley wine. They actually can't call it a beer for legal terms.
Right.
Beer is usually associated with like 7% and below, so that's why they refer to it as a wine. It's still brewed the same way as a beer.
Yeah, this is often why some things are called ales instead of beers, because
Yes.
beer has a certain connotation and meaning.
Yeah.
And as far as the Anchor line goes, they have a variety of beers. A lot of people don't realize this, but people just know Anchor Steam. But there's also a Liberty's Ale.
There's a seasonal Christmas ale.
And the seasonal Christmas ale is, I think, the only thing they make that's normally stronger than this Foghorn.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was.
It's around the same level, I believe.
And actually, very nice to have too.
Yes.
But that's another show. So, let's just dive right in. I'm gonna pour myself here first.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's a nice amber color.
It's actually, it's a dark color. It's very caramelly, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have any foam on it. I'm actually gonna pour myself a little more here.
But
It smells like a barley wine. I've had barley wines before. I mean, it's a hard smell to actually describe.
I'll try.
It's not a strong smell, but it's kind of I would say a lingering sweet smell.
Yeah, it definitely has a sweetness to it. I imagine that will show itself also in the flavor.
Oh yes.
Let's see.
Sure. Ooh.
I like this very much. I mean, I'm familiar with a lot of Anchor Brewery beers or barley wines, and this one is quite nice. It's like we expected, a very full flavor. It's kind of all parts of the tongue also, which is one thing. Like, you definitely taste it in the back of your tongue. It's kind of a hearty flavor, but it's also got a lot of sweetness, so you taste it all over the place.
I agree with you on the flavor, but I actually am not a fan of this beer. I'm sorry, barley wine. I usually like my barley wines to actually be a little sweeter. This one actually, I think, has a little more of the best way to describe it is like a bolder taste. It's stronger in the way I think it leans more towards a beery kind of taste rather than a barley wine kind of taste.
Right, and I would say it's safe to say that it's not really as light as you'd expect if you wanted to go out and have an ale or a beer or a lager or something like that. If you wanted to go that route, this wouldn't be for you. And it sounds like for you is just not heavy enough, or the flavors aren't rich enough or fruity enough for you to really enjoy it wine-wise. I actually like it. I think it covers a good middle ground.
All right, well,
but
I believe this is the first time we've ever actually deferred on.
I think we disagree here, but it's not my favorite of Anchor Brewery's offerings.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's a classic flavor. It's just probably an old world classic flavor. Not if you have an opportunity to kind of go over the different Anchor offerings, Old Foghorn is one to check out if you're interested kind of in the different type of flavors. It's going to be different for you than regular Anchor Steam would be or their Liberty Ale would be. But some people like it.
And some people don't. I mean, actually, the best thing to actually experience all the Anchor Brewery flavors is to actually attend a beer tasting at Anchor Brewery. Often they will give tours at the brewery, show you how the beer is made, which is actually very amazing. They do a lot of open vat, where everything is open while it's...
they have a different style than a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I think they were saying it's only a few matter of hours that things are in the vats closed. And then actually where the Anchor Steam name comes from is that they used to steam the beer on the roof.
Yes, exactly. But, and beer tasting at the end of it. So.
Yeah, and beer tasting at the end, you get to try all their lines, so it's really good. I like it. JT doesn't. Oh well.
Thanks for new.
Yeah, thanks for watching yet another beer show. That's JT.
That's Colin.
And we hope to hear from you. Well, maybe we won't hear from you, but maybe we'll have you watch us again.
Check us out on our website, yetanotherbiershow.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter. Check it out.
Take care.
Welcome to another. No, I'm gonna start this one over again. I've been drinking a lot today. Okay, I pre-gamed before I came here. Like you can go to like the specialty restaurants and see brew stacks and brew barrels of. I'm trying to think of the technical term for them.
Places where they make beer.
Places where they make beer. Sorry, I always like to give a little sniff. Like people do it with wine bottles. I like to do it with the beer. And since it is barley wine, why not?